let's talk about the practice in leadership referred to as the open door policy. I'm not a fan. I'll tell you why. I have been amazed by how many clients' frustrations were caused by this. Somehow they believed, and maybe you can relate, that to be a good leader, they needed to have an open office door and they needed to be accessible to their employees who often need their help. I understand the motivation behind this, and I applaud the spirit behind it, especially in wanting to be a good leader and help your team. Right? That's what we're here for. So let's talk about the frustrations that you're experiencing as a leader. Constant interruptions. These frustrating, obviously, and they're causing your workload to back up. It's also much harder to sustain a positive mood. I might even flip my wig from time to time in that circumstance. And you've essentially invited them to come in and dump stuff on you. And if you've fallen prey to stopping what you're doing and wanting to give them the answers so that they can get back to work quickly, essentially you've trained them to be overly reliant on you. Also, you've been saying you want your team members to come to you with solutions at the same time in the same conversation in which they present the problem, whatever that is. Okay, so this is a situation or similar that you find yourself in if you have the open door policy, right? What's the answer? Your team needs far less open door accessible time than you think and than they think. I'm going to give you a list of 5-ish things that I've coached my clients through implementing, and they were blown away, utterly blown away by how great the results were. So here we go. It's exciting. Number 1. I'm going to suggest specifically that you have open door office times. Now, this is similar to a professor where they're posted. Everybody knows when the office hours are. And let's say, for instance, it's 2 to 4 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Preferably, they are narrow bands of time, not necessarily every day. Remember, they need far less open door time than you think. Yes, you're going to need to customize this to your situation, your industry, and your office, of course. Number 2. Open door office time is generally not the time to have those deep and confidential conversations that are more a fit for employee review conversations. And by the way, you should be having those scheduled regularly, also consistently throughout the year. Not a once a year is not enough, as everybody knows. So those deep and meaningful confidential conversations, this is not the time for that. This is really the time more for day-to-day guidance, quick validation for on-the-fly decisions, confirming priorities, keeping business moving, stuff like that, okay? Number 3, having open door office times scheduled consistently allows you to more effectively manage your workload during the time that you're at work. Sounds pretty good, right? Oh, it is. By the way, if this is a real issue for you, you're going to want to check out my series on the ideal calendar and the perfect week. You'll love it. Number 4. Here's the best part, I think. Well, all of it's really great because essentially you're getting your life back. But you're also, number 4, you're training your team to behave differently, to be more independent and effective, right? They will learn to plan. They will learn to think ahead. By doing this, they will essentially prove their own value to themselves. They will be more confident, and you'll have shifted your culture to that of more of a high-performing team. Pretty great. Okay, number 5. It's gonna take a few months, generally. It takes patience and consistency over everything, and communication with them, direct communication about what's going on and how it benefits them and how it benefits you, and it's the new way. No questions. Don't waver. Just be firm. You got this. Let's see, what else? So you're gonna need to, essentially, you need to provide the specific steps for them as to what you expect. You can't assume that they understand your expectations. You have to spell it out. As I like to say, you basically have to breadcrumb the path into the forest for them. And I don't mean this as in they're not intelligent enough to figure it out. It's checking for understanding. It's absolutely checking for understanding, and it's removing the layers of anxiety that occur when people don't know exactly what's expected of them. So it's better to be very specific and, yes, consistent. Oh yeah, and another tip. Be careful to not be the log jam. What I mean by this is if you're requiring your employees to get your permission in order to move forward on something, that's a dangerous situation, because essentially you could be holding up business, right? And they're going to be frustrated. So you have to change that process. So while you're changing the process, you're taking down the total accessibility and open door policy. It's a good time to change this as well. You're empowering your employees to act according to the specific guidelines you've given them. Because sacrificing yourself, throwing yourself under the bus by giving all your time and energy to the business isn't really the answer. It's allowing them to rise to the challenge. It's allowing them to be at their best so that you can, well, get your life back as one of those things. Your employees will have the knowledge and the skills and the tools to do what needs to be done without constantly relying on you. Okay, so if you want some help learning to let go, I would love to help you with that. Let's get you with your life back, your peace of mind, stronger team. It feels great. And I want that for you.